My wife and kids decided it would be a great idea if they started moving furniture around from one room to the other. Basically, they wanted to create a reading nook for my son. But the chest was not the same height as the throw-fast storage, so she asked me if I could modify it and put a couple pieces of wood underneath so they'd be the same height. No problem. Took the piece of furniture in the garage, took some measurements, and I used pallet wood to basically do the project. This is a tool I made about 2 years ago. If you're interested, the link will be below. So once the pieces of wood cleaned up from the nails, I just went to the table saw and rough cut everything to the proper length and width. This rough lumber from the pallet wood would be screwed together and then attached to the throw-fast storage with pocket screws. So none of this material will be showing as a finished product. I like using pocket screws to assemble some stuff very quickly. It's pretty solid and very cheap. So once the back and the two sides were attached to my storage, I would move on to add two spacers on the outside where my drawer would be fixed to. Once again, all this material will not be visible when the piece is all assembled. Then I moved on to created the 4 legs. That part of the project was the hardest part, I would have to say. Basically, the corners were made out of 2 2x4s. Those ones were cut at a 45-degree angle, then glued together to create a L shape. The look of this piece is nothing to brag about, but once sanded and cut to proper size, I was pretty happy with it. Prior to doing that piece, I actually did a few test pieces. Now I'm moving on to making the drawer. Again, I just used pallet wood, cut it to size, cleaned it up, and then I assembled the 4 corners with a 45 degrees, and I created a room for the bottom to actually be flush to it. So that was all done on the table saw. That recycled plywood was the piece that would give the strength to my drawer. So I used my chop saw to miter the corner at 45 degrees, and then assembled it with glues and screw. Something that will disappear with the once the face attached to the front of the drawer. I could have used just a normal 90-degree corner, and without the miter corner it would have been fine too. Then I moved on to cutting the bottom piece. It was recycled from a previous project. My biggest piece of headache was the corners. I did a 12.5 degree slot on it, and the face was again some more pallet wood, but I think it was hardwood, and I think it was birch, not sure, birch or maple. I did a few pieces to test. Once assembled, I gave it a coat of varnish to match the pine that was there, and finished product was pretty happy with it. Happy?
Evan, you can go downstairs and get a Hatchimals.
I know.
And do you know who I got?